morning once again. We are back here for the AM Live. Oh, it's not. Is it still AM Live?
AM Live.
Okay, we're still like AM Live, yes.
We're here with Rolfe Hein from Volcano Theatre Company, who's here to tell us about the Great Amador Carnival of 1886.
Exactly.
The Great Amador Carnival of 1886, or what's a damsel to do?
It's a damsel.
It is a melodrama that I've written and I am directing, and it will begin on June 12th at 8 o'clock is our first show, our opening night, and doors open at 6:30. Andrew's in it. He's playing one of my carnies. So we have carnival people in it. We have the hero, who's a dashing young man, all dressed in white, and we have the heroine who has this beautiful white flowing gown, and we have the villain dressed in black, and everybody can come by and boo and hiss, and we have the Oleos who are going to sing and entertain, and we've got orphans, we've got carnies, we've got everything that everybody could ever want in a show. It's going to be a great show, and opening night is, like I said, June 12th, starting at 6:30. Doors open at 6:30, and the show begins at 8. And we run through until July 13th, and that's closing night. So every weekend, on Friday and Saturday, doors open at 6:30, and show begins at 8. And you can bring down your picnic basket and have wine and cheese and enjoy the show and interact with our cast. You can boo and hiss and cheer the heroine and boo the villain, and we have a great cast, a lot of familiar faces and a lot of great actors, and it's going to be a great time for the whole family. So bring everybody down, everybody from grandpa and grandma all the way down to the little kids.
So tell us, what exactly is a melodrama?
A melodrama is a traditional American art form which combines the dramatic element with melodies or singing, hence the melodrama. It started in the early Victorian era, and it moved around. These shows moved around from place to place, and they would entertain the miners and the people who were doing the logging in the railroad camps, and they would entertain these mainly men, and they would put on these shows for the work crews. And they would travel around, and they would do. Essentially, it was the early variety shows, which lent itself to vaudeville, and then became the variety shows. And it's pretty much the predecessor to the modern musical, and that's what the melodrama is. It's an ancient form of the modern musical. But the melodrama has stock characters, which everyone was familiar with. So it was very popular. It was a very popular genre that everybody could get into because they knew what to expect.
And how long have you been doing this for?
I have been in community theater for 20 years, and this is the first show I've written as well as directed. So. It lends itself. I've been in 2 melodramas before, in both of which I played the villain, so I'm very familiar with the art form, and it's a fun art form. It's a lot of audience participation, which is what makes it so entertaining. And you can boo and hiss, and you can talk. You can yell at the villain and make him react to you. And our villain is Robert Shell, and our hero is Joe Sveck, and our heroine is Shaundi Farley, and a lot of them, all of our stars all of our leads have a lot of experience. So come down and give them a hard time or cheer them on.
And what are some lines that you have?
My lines?
Yeah,
I just have small ones, like, we gotta tell someone. Or maybe we should get rid of the guy.
And yeah, Andrew's a carnival Andrew's a carnival actor whose carnival was taken over by the villain. And when the carnival people decide that he was up to nefarious ends, they want to get rid of him, and that's part of the plot, is to get rid of Felonious Sim, the evil, the evil psychopath.
I think it would be great to watch Andrew say, maybe we should get rid of him. I could just like see him. Maybe
my
we should
5
get rid of
lines I
Shasta.
have.
Yeah, well, it's you know, every part is important, though.
Without a doubt.
I mean, even the orphans are important, and they only have one line, and they sing a little song, and you guys are up there, and you know, I mean, the show is named after you guys. It's the Great Amador Carnival of 1886, right? So.
Oh, you're just trying to make me feel better, Rolfe.
Yeah, well, that's true. I want you to come back so you do a good
Please come to
performance.
rehearsals.
Yeah, come to rehearsals and make sure you show up for our performances. Yeah. We've done several melodramas in the past, and we've always had great turnout because it is a very familiar format, and people love to show up and boo and hiss and cheer and sing along. We have sing-alongs with the Oleos. The Oleos are directed by Roxanne Fawcett, who has quite a bit of experience with the melodrama. She grew up in a melodrama family. Her mother was one of the charter members for the Clay Pipers, which performed in Amador County for 30 years, and the Halsabos were in charge of that, and Roxanne was very familiar with that. She participated in a lot with that, and she's lending her expertise to this show, and she's directing the Oleos, and that's another aspect of the show that's really entertaining. And that people really enjoy is a couple of gals from around the county who are participating in doing the singing and dancing, and a few guys as well, but I prefer to watch the women, of course. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's a tradition, and it's going to be a great show. It's really going to be a great show if everybody learns their lines.
Can you give me an example of some booing and hissing? Just, I would just love to see some.
For example, the villain would say something like, and with that I will be able to buy the deeds for the orphanage, and I will become a millionaire, or I will become a rich man, and then boo, and then I mean, no throwing things.
I've never heard this.
My dad would throw things during the melodramas.
Yeah, but that's illegal because that's actually assault, so we don't allow that.
Don't throw anything.
Don't throw anything because that's assault. But barring that, you can say almost anything, except remember that children are in the audience, and we don't want to go blue. But you can. I was called a scum bucket as a villain, and so yeah, there's
and
that.
some other unmentionable things.
And other unmentionable things that I won't go into in a mixed crowd.
That's a new word. Haven't heard that one
Scum
before.
bucket, sure.
Scum bucket. You've never heard scum bucket?
No.
Oh.
I must be living in a
I was called the
closet.
scum bucket, and of course as the villain I loved it. I go, if I am the scum bucket, madam, then you are the mop.
Well, I think if you're playing a villain and you get called things like that, it means you're doing a good job.
You are doing a good job, and then you're doing everything properly because you want.
You want people to hate you.
You want people to hate you. As an actor, you want to get that
Feel
reaction.
accomplished. Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
So what other shows are lined up for Volcano Theatre?
The rest of the season is Our Town, which just started rehearsals. Our Town is a classic play. We've done it once before, but it's such an incredible show that we decided to do it again, and it's directed by Patty Fredericks and Tracy Morris. Then after that, we're still in the audition process for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and the auditions, there's an additional audition date on Sunday at 2 o'clock at the Cobblestone, and Bob Dustovich is directing that, and Bob would like to see a bunch more people come down to audition for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It's on our, the information is on our website at volcanotheatre.net, and if you go on our website, you can find more information about the audition. And then our Christmas show is It's a Wonderful Life, directed by Vince Murdoch. And Vince has done numerous Christmas shows, and that's his forte. and it's going to be a great season, and we're having a lot of fun this year, and we're doing really well with people are deciding to come back out and enjoy live theater again. So come on down.
Sounds like a really good lineup
Is
this year.
Vince related to Heather Murdoch?
Yeah.
Vince is Vince is.
That's what I figured. I just had to make sure. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, she's a really incredible person.
She is. I've known the Murdochs for a while, and they're really wonderful. And yeah, he does really well with the theater, and he puts on great productions. So.
Oh, awesome. And what inspired you to do what you do?
I've been acting since I can remember. When I was a kid, in kindergarten, we had one of our teachers at the school was really into theater, and she cast me in some of the leads as a kid, and I've always been into it. I've always acted. So.
Funny.
Yeah.
And what is some advice you have for anybody who wants to get into acting?
Just keep on plugging away at it. Visualize the character, become the character, do method acting, and really freak your parents out.
Freak your parents out.
Yeah.
Is that what you happen to do?
Get your
Andrew?
lines down.
And remember your lines, yeah. Lines, learn
That
your
would
lines,
help.
carnies.
I know my lines.
Yeah, you do. I have to admit that, yes. Andrew, you are doing very well.
You know your lines.
I
Yes,
know
he does.
mine. I don't know about the rest of the carnies.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I hope everybody can come out and watch everything and come see Andrew.
It's going to be a good show.
June 12th, 6:30, doors open, 8 o'clock curtain, all the way through to July 13th. So.
Well, thank you so much
you.
for
Come
on
joining
down.
us, and we hope you guys are having a good
We'll be right
morning.
back.
Amador Live.